bringing news from a different page. Truth served hot and bold and strong. Every week we sing along. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. Stories that make you think and pray. A light awaits at the end of day. Guided by the stars and stripes, through the stormiest of nights. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. When the world feels like a fight, hold your ground, stand for what's right. In the truth we'll find our way. Ed and Ronnie light the way. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. Together we find unity.
Good evening, everyone, to Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's up, Ronnie?
Not much. Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
It is a good day to be here. I think we're going to start getting some warmer weather tomorrow. Boy,
I hope so. Man.
you know, I don't really believe
days of
in
spring
Mother
break?
Nature.
Well, 3 days.
Yeah,
of
I don't
spring
really
break and 3
believe-
days of snow.
Yeah, there you go. I looked out at, well, just a few minutes before your mom was going to go to work, and I said, look, it's snowing again. Oh, my.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't really believe in Mother Nature, but I know who controls the weather, so, don't hate on me. But man, up and down, and
Yeah.
again, it was 75 on Sunday, and by Monday it was 17 in snow. So,
Yep. Yep.
and
Everyone
I
I
was
talked
talking.
to migraines.
Yeah, well, if you have a hard time with the weather switching, probably Indiana's not the place to live. And if you do, and you do, you pay the price, don't you, Ronnie?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I pay the price every day.
Well, we are Pastor Ed Boston. I'm a pastor. My son, Ronnie, he is an animal control officer. And
Right.
we make up Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie. We've been doing this since 11, 4, or 5. It's 11/5, isn't it?
5, I think. Yeah.
11/5 of 24. We started on election night, covered that for hours and hours and hours and
Hours and
hours.
hours and hours.
And we didn't know we were going to make something out of that long term, but the way that first night turned out, we changed. Well, we didn't change. We made that into Red, White, and True. And there is other news sites out there that call themselves Red, White, and True. So we add the with Ed and Ronnie to stand apart from what the other folks are doing. And Ronnie is a little bit new to the live stream genre, so to speak. I've been podcasting since 2008 for years and years with just audio podcast. The last few video, my wife and I, Amy, we did a live stream called Prayer and Share. Started that when COVID hit full strength, March the 18th. Oh, we've got an anniversary. March the 18th of 2020. And Prayer and Share with no with on that. Prayer and Share is not officially an over with deal. We've not figured out how to work things in on that. But when your mama retires, we might kick that back up full strength. And
well, there you go.
So 6 years today that we started Prayer and Share. And I know when I've been filtering things out, I got rid of the Prayer and Share intro song. It was, yeah, I know I did. Don't even need to look for it. So that's kind of who we are. What we do is we cover current events from a Christian conservative standpoint. People like to call MAGA sheeps. Sheeps isn't a word unless you say the sheeps coming home.
Sheepses.
But
plural.
Sheep is plural. But we're not sheep. We're not sheeple. We're not MAGA to the point where we don't have our own opinions. I think if you see us on a regular basis, you'll realize that we support the president and we support most everything just the way he does it. But we're not afraid to tell you that we're not on the same page with the president on a topic or two, or a handful, or how many of it is. But we're not going to promise you fair and balanced news. We're going to promise you true news. And tonight is True News Wednesday.
That is right.
So, Ronnie, why don't you kick us off here? And
well, let's start out with something amusing, I guess. So, back in high school, we used to jump in the car and crank the tunes and go for a ride. We usually would shoehorn about 24 drumline guys into a two-door, little bitty tiny car. And one day somebody turned on a rapper by the name of Afro Man. Now, if you've never heard of Afro Man, he makes not dirty rap, but funny raps. And one of his most famous songs is Because I Got High. Well, now he's famous for another song. I guess some sheriff's deputies busted into his house. They had a search warrant, and they just so happened to come across a lemon pound cake. And the officer looked at it and created this whole huge ordeal. He created a song for it. And now he is being sued by this sheriff's department. So I've got a couple of videos. Shush it. I'm not going to show them all. It's amusing that this is an actual thing.
Officer Lisa Phillips broke down in court as videos of Afro Man mocking her were played before the jury, turning a disputed police raid into a bitter legal fight over humiliation, privacy, and defamation. Phillips is suing Afro Man after he released multiple songs, videos, and social media posts that allegedly questioned her gender, mocked her appearance, and made repeated insinuations about her sexuality. During the hearing, her attorney played several of those clips in court, and Phillips reportedly began crying on the stand as the content was shown. The lawsuit stems from the 2022 raid on Afro Man's home, when officers searched the property on suspicion of kidnapping and drug trafficking. No charges followed, but the raid itself became a major point of controversy. Afro Man later claimed officers took cash, disconnected his cameras, and damaged parts of his property, including his gate and door. Instead of letting the incident die, he turned it into content. That is where this case shifts, because what may have started as a museum.
Now that's just a little bit of information of where this case started, but here's the actual the punch.
The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass break. They found no kidnapping victims, just some lemon pound cake. Mama's lemon pound cake. It tastes so nice. It made the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice. Of what? Of what?
Now I can keep going with that, but I don't want us to get muted on Facebook again. That was one of the first things I came across this morning while I was waiting on the doctor, and I've had that song in my head all day long, and I wanted to share it because if you grew up in the age that I did, you listened to Afro Man because I got high, and he's a very big Trump supporter, as a matter of fact. He actually made a spoof song called Because Hunter Got High, talking about Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and the cocaine found in the White House and stuff like that. But you've got to respect a man that can pull off this outfit.
All of this is their fault. If they hadn't have wrongly raided my house, there would be no lawsuit. I would not know their names. They wouldn't be on my body. They wouldn't be on my home surveillance system. And there would be no songs, nothing. My money would still be intact, nothing. So all of this.
So there is our first story to jump us off. Afro Man in court versus the Adams County Sheriff's Department.
Can you imagine sitting in that courtroom and him walking in dressed like that?
Oh my gosh. But
yeah. Think about the judge. You know, judges are big on decorum and respect and all of this stuff. And in walks a guy with basically an Uncle Sam outfit on.
Yes. The original video that I saw, they showed the entire lemon pound cake song to the judge and jury and all the witnesses. And I couldn't help if I was the judge, I would just bust out laughing because come on. It's a song about lemon pound cake.
and he sang it slow and methodically. And I was waiting for, some hip hop music in the background.
No, just lemon pound cake. Mama's lemon pound cake.
Well, you got a few things in your life that your mama makes that, you wouldn't want anybody else to make for you.
That's right.
So,
and if I was a sheriff or police officer kicked in my door, I wouldn't mind if they stopped and, I had some of mom's beef and noodles. I'm upset there's no more. So, oh well, I guess I'll wait till tomorrow.
well, there is one bowl of beef and noodle. Oh, no, you ate it.
I ate it. I ate that yesterday or day before. Yeah, I ate it.
Yeah. Oh, well. So I was going to tell you there's a bowl of beef and noodles still in the fridge, and you were welcome to them, but
I pulled it and ate it.
All right. Well, the president today went to see the dignified transfer of the 6 American heroes that were killed as part of an airplane crash last week. We've already paid tribute to these 6. They're part of the 13 that we paid tribute to on Monday, but I want you to see, this is only a 13-second clip, and I want you to see how he has respect for the military. All right. You know, Ronnie, things as small as a salute
Oh yeah.
doesn't mean something to a lot of people. But when you've been in a position where you've had to salute, you know, that is the ultimate sign of respect to me, that he is giving them in addition to them giving it to him.
Oh yeah.
There have been presidents in the past that have saluted, not probably anywhere near as much as he does, but he even pulls it off pretty well with there's a right way to salute and a not so right way to salute, and you know he comes pretty close almost every time to pulling it off. And people might think, well, what's so difficult about that? And really it's not, but there's a lot of mistakes that you can make. You see, that's not the way you salute right there. That's not the way you salute right there. You pop it to the side and you snap the salute off, and it's all about respect in that case. And if there's one thing as commander in chief that I believe Trump pulls off, it is giving respect to our men and women of the armed forces. I think you've got a clip that
I've actually got a video of his saluting and his respect for the military. Is that what you're getting
go
at?
ahead. Well, I think you have one of Pete Hegseth talks about the president won in the end.
Yes.
Go ahead.
But you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. Staring at the ceiling in the dark, same old empty feeling in your heart. 'Cause love comes slow and it goes so fast. Will you see her when you fall asleep, but never to touch and never to keep? 'Cause you loved her too much and you dive too deep. Where you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go.
I think I've ever hugged a flag, but the rest of that seemed pretty classy, you know.
Yeah, I knew you had that one because I seen it. Tell me how, if you're on the left and you hate every ounce of his being, how do you look at that video right there and not have some kind of feeling that he is a human being and that he has something in his heart for, even if they don't like the military, for the military. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
You can't fake what he does there. There is no way that is a fake story or fake emotions. And I'm going to lead you into this next one. It's not fake from a person who has had multiple assassination attempts on his life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And here is that Pete Hegseth.
The leader of the unit who attempted to assassinate President Trump has been hunted down and killed. Iran tried to kill President Trump, and President Trump got the last laugh.
That's right. Couldn't have said it better.
Sometimes I try to explain away our feelings about things like that. Well, we don't approve of assassinations. This is war. This is war. And they tried to kill him multiple times. And most people know how you and I both feel about Pete Hegseth. And he just nailed that one right in, punched him right in the nose with that.
Absolutely. And that's what he's good at too.
He just keeps getting better and better at what it is that he does. You can tell in the decisions that come out of the Department of War. Have you noticed that very few people call it the Department of War and call him the Secretary?
Still the Department of Defense, the Secretary of War. Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, I guess, but he sure is making a lot of people on the left look bad about how they predicted that he would do as the Secretary of War.
And that's making the people on the left look bad. That's not that hard to do.
Well, that's true.
Right.
That's true. I have saved so many things. I thought I had one of Hegseth talking, but maybe not. So I got a really cool video of actually, it was posted by Laura Logan, and this kid, I've seen him one other time, I think, before this, and he's on it. For a young guy, he is on it. Let me get it pulled up.
I'm tired of these nationally televised programs mocking God. Jimmy Fallon, you gonna find out, bro. Every knee will bow. And all y'all that think it's cool to make fun of Jesus on these shows because you're a celebrity and you sold out and you sold your soul, all y'all that think that this is cool, y'all are gonna find out because every knee will bow. You are so important in this world, right? Right now, you're important. You ain't gonna be important when you die. Because every knee will bow. You're gonna be right in front of Jesus. Same man that you mocked. Nothing rage baits me more. I don't get mad about things. You're playing with the same God that saved my life. I wouldn't be here. Say what you want. I wouldn't be here. He took away my depression. Quit playing with God. You're going to F around and find out. And I genuinely pray that all y'all demonic people that sold out and y'all that genuinely get your information from these people that sold out, I pray you find out. You know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of these nationally televised programs mocking God. Jimmy Fallon, you gonna find out, bro.
Jimmy Fallon, bro. Jimmy Fallon, bro. And he calls out something that as Christians should concern us a lot. If a person is willing to make fun of Jesus, they're not somebody you want to be around, not somebody you want to have anything to do with, not something that you want to excuse and say, well, that's his beliefs, but he's funny about everything else. First of all, he's not. And second of all, the word blasphemy is not a very good description of somebody, even though blasphemy of Jesus is not the unforgivable sin.
That's right.
So, what do you got next, bud?
Well, I was just reading the home of CENTCOM, MacDill Air Force Base in Central Florida is on a lockdown. We take all threats seriously, and we're taking appropriate measures to prioritize the safety and security of their installation. As a matter of policy, we will not release specifics. Shelter-in-place order comes days after a suspicious device was found in the visitor center, causing traffic to be diverted. But they're not saying what's going on now. And just a couple of minutes ago, I saw there was another Air Force base or it might have been an Army base that was on lockdown. So this is the second one I've seen in about 20 minutes. So I don't know what's really going on.
Which could lead us into what has become a daily or an every time we're on warning about sleeper cells and lone wolves. I'm sure that there are some people that are sick to death of hearing us talk about that, and for that we don't apologize.
No,
we refuse to apologize. As a matter of fact, we're probably going to hit it even harder as we see more and more things like what's going on. It takes one person, one lone wolf, to make a major attack. And so we're not. Go ahead.
Here it is. It's Shepherd Air Force Base. I don't know where that is. Texas, maybe?
I'm not sure on that one.
Yeah, it's on lockdown as well since 7 o'clock this morning. Well, it's a Texas news agency, or Wichita. It's Kansas. Okay. So yeah, 2 Air Force bases on lockdown right now, and then one of them being the home of CENTCOM. That's not good.
Yeah, that's they don't want to FAFO around that. I know the security there's got to be amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
You see what Bill and Tanya asked?
I have not.
I didn't see. I have not. So if you guys fill us in, we'll.
No,
and
I have not.
Looky there. There is your gorgeous mama.
She helped us out. It's in Texas.
You know, we've talked many times about her retiring and hoping that we're going to get that done. We can't say that it's 100% in the bag, but boy, it's getting pretty close to being 100% in the bag that she gets to retire in June. So we hope
that quickly, huh?
And pray.
All right.
Well, that's when she'll have that birthday that makes her eligible.
Yep.
And
June 6th. Oh, let's see here. Zelensky warns he has a very bad feeling about Iran war amid knock on resource impact. I don't care what you think, Zelensky. Take care of your own war.
Well, so the whole world has to stop because Zelensky is worried. I don't know.
I'm guessing so.
I've seen this young man before. He is a legal immigrant, not an illegal immigrant, a legal immigrant from Iran that is very, very, very conservative and very, very, very pro-Trump.
So then the left automatically hates him.
Yeah, they're going to hate him. And they'll hate him even more after he made this video here.
I'm at the gym minding my own business. This older white guy comes up to me, pointing to my shirt, and he said, "Let me talk to you real quick." So I walk over there. I'm like, "What's up, man?" He said, "You shouldn't be wearing that shirt right now. You're going to offend a lot of people." I was like, "Who? Who am I going to offend?" He said, "Immigrants." I started laughing. I'm like, "I'm an immigrant. I support the president." He's like, "No, you're not." I was like, "Yeah, born and raised in Iran, man." he gets all confused and he's like, well, how about the soldiers, military's being deployed to target protesters? I was like, I like law and order too. I like stores that are not looted. I like taxi cabs that are not burned. I don't know about you. I support him on that. And he's like, well, a lot of people in the military don't. They're speaking up. They're walking away. And I was like, well, guess what, man? I'm a veteran too. And the first thing they teach you in the military that you obey the chain of command. And guess who's at the top of that chain? It's the commander-in-chief, the president of the United States. So I told him this. If you are talking about immigrants, you're wrong. You're talking about illegal immigrants. I spent 3 years in a refugee camp in Turkey, waited my turn with no source of education, no source of income, because we knew what was on the other side. And when we got here, we didn't raise the Iranian flag. We raised the American flag and the Texas flag, and we still do today. So you're not talking about immigrants. You're talking about illegal immigrants, those people who invaded this country. And anybody in the military that have a problem with this, or like this guy, or those foreigners that are raising the foreign flag, you all are more than welcome to get the hell out and go find another place.
I love that. Welcome
Yeah,
to the
he didn't hold back anything on that one. And did you notice how he hit on several points that he knew liberals would get? He's a immigrant, not an illegal immigrant. He is a veteran. He has a Trump shirt on. This man is a walking, talking, head-spinning liberal buster.
Yeah. He is what the left hates. An immigrant coming here, supporting Donald Trump, supporting what's right, and not just blindly following the left. So he's what the Democrats hate, besides white Christian conservative cisgender men.
He did things the right way. I guess, when you look at all the things that liberals are for now, they're for lawlessness, illegal immigrants, defunding ICE. And I'm going to start talking about that in that manner. That's what they want to do. They want to defund ICE.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
It's the same. Well, what got me to say that was there is a congressman that was talking about how they are bringing back up one of the most stupid ideas that the Democrats have ever had, and that was defund the police. And,
Yes.
and now they're trying the same thing with defund ICE. It's
stupid, fundamentally flawed thing to come up with. It's defund ICE, defund the police. What's next? Defund the military? Are they going to defund fire departments? Are they going to, come on? This is stupid.
Well, and when we say all those things, it's them benefiting off of illegal and bad behavior.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
I mean,
yeah.
Do the right thing. I mean, that's what we say all the time. Do the right thing. And the right thing is not being on the side of the bad guys.
I don't know. Troy said something about the issue in New York is an attempted bomber or something. I'm going through all kinds of news from New York and nothing's coming up about it. So,
yeah.
I would assume that would probably be true, but we're not red, white, and assume. So, yeah, right here they've already defunded the police. Yeah,
and that was a massive failure. And even they admit it was a massive failure. Well, most of them do. The Schumer and his crowd are never ever going to admit when they make a bad decision. And let me look. While you're playing your next video, I've got a couple I want to look for here.
All right.
I think I've got.
Oh, I do have this a little bit of space news. I saw a massive meteor come through. This has been all over the news today. And this video is kind of hard to see, but look in the top right-hand corner, and then they'll show it again.
residents in northeast Ohio reported a loud boom this morning as a suspected meteor fell from the sky. The National Weather Service put out this video of the fireball streaking across the horizon. You see it there. It could be seen hundreds of miles away, with the American Meteor Society saying it received reports from Wisconsin to Maryland. An astronomer with that organization said it was likely the size of a softball or a basketball, though an expert at NASA put it at nearly 6 feet across.
Support journalism you trust.
One of the things I saw, it could be as big as a mid-size 4-door car. So,
wow.
It's a circle. There are no corners. It was there.
Oh my.
Gosh.
Well,
Yeah, I've got that one. Did you find what you're looking for?
No, I don't have it. The hearings for Mark Wayne Mullen started today to take over take over the DHS. He had quite an exchange with Rand Paul. That one I'm going to bypass, but here is border czar Tom Homan talking about Senator
I almost said
Mullen.
Kamala Harris.
The bottom line is Senator Mullen's the right guy at the right time in the right position. This is, again, Tom Homan, the border czar. I fully support him. I've talked to Mark Wayne every day, several times a day, ever since President Trump announced his nomination, so he gets it. He's already looking at solutions. I've been speaking to the head of ICE, the head of Customs and Border Patrol. They're all excited that this man will be the next Secretary of Homeland Security. Now, he's a fiery individual. He sometimes lets his mouth get ahead of his brain a little bit. You know, like we showed the night he was going to whoop the guy at a Senate hearing.
Yeah.
He said some things about Senator Paul that, you know, he probably wishes he would have left out. But this man is a self-made man. He's a businessman that made himself into what he is. He's a family man. And I'm telling you, I think he is as close to perfect for that position as Trump could find. And I'm excited about his nomination.
Even though the left is already smearing him, Mark Wayne Mullen, who is President Trump's pick to replace Kristi Noem as head of the Department of Homeland Security, became teary-eyed during his confirmation hearing. Mullen appeared before lawmakers on Monday, where he was grilled over his loyalty to Trump. He explained that the president had visited his son after he was severely injured, which happened after he got tongue-tied into a bizarre meltdown. I'm going to try to get through this without crying, he said before taking a sip of water. He said that his son, a world-class athlete, had a serious brain injury and woke up a different kid. Came after Melania's comments about Barron's mental state exposed why he couldn't be drafted into the Army. But the title of this segment, or this thing, is Mark Wayne Mullen breaks down after being skewered at explosive Senate hearing. Now, how is talking about his son who was medically injured and tearing up about it, him going off the rails because of being skewered at this explosive Senate hearing? It makes no sense.
Well, let me tell you a little more about that story. I've heard him tell the whole story about that. And if you can listen to that story and not tear up at the president's response to this, you're probably better than Ronnie or I, either one. And if you want a good feel-good story that made a difference, look up Mark Wayne Mullen's son and President Trump. It's a wonderful story. It's not wonderful in the kid.
This right here, I don't know the story, but I'm reading like kind of the end of it, and it's wow. But if you got it, go ahead.
No, I don't have it. I wasn't. I didn't know what you were going to read had that included, or I would have had it up and ready. And it's a fairly long video, but it's worth playing. We'll do that for Saturday.
All it says is every week, if not most days, the president would call and ask how to help, said Mullen. He didn't do it for publicity. He didn't do it for any show. He was running one of the toughest elections he had been in, and the guy was still concerned about my son. After the family was released from the facility, the president invited them to come to Mar-a-Lago. Trump grabbed my son, and he goes, "Do you know why I love your dad?" Mullen recalled. "Because he loves you because of you. Here's the president of the United States, and he did it just because he cared." Mullen said that before this, he and Trump were only acquaintances, but ever since then, they've been friends. But Orange Man bad, so, you know.
That's just as I said about the military respect earlier. How can you hear stories like that? And you would think it would, chip a little bit of that hatred off.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're going to hate no matter what.
Well,
and to me, that's just, it blows my mind why any sane, logical American citizen would look at the left and go, "Oh, this is the party of love and tolerance and understanding." Obviously not. If they cannot do anything that's not hate-filled and Orange Man bad, and come on. Democrats were the party of tolerance. Remember that? Or they were supposed to be.
Yeah, they want you to be tolerant of illegal things. And Mary makes a good point. What?
So what about Barron was exposed? This is from themirror.us, which take it if you want it. Social media users have been calling for Barron Trump to be drafted, but it's unlikely Melania, would approve. After the initial U.S.-Israel strikes on Iran, tensions have intensified across the broader Middle East region when Fox's Maria Bartomo questioned White House Press Secretary Leavitt about what concerns we're going to have a draft, which is, we talked about this before, every time something happens, even though there's not been one boot on the ground, oh my God, a draft. This prompted a hashtag Send Barron campaign online with calls for the president's 19-year-old son to join the armed forces. However, Trump's youngest son may exceed height eligibility, requirements, as reports indicate he stands at 6'9", surpassing the military's maximum height for safely operating armored vehicles. That doesn't matter. They're still going to. So that's what was exposed. He's 6'9", too tall to get behind a tank. But this whole thing about the draft, a helicopter or fighter plane, big deal. But there's no draft. Just because they dropped a couple of bombs. This happened in Iran last year when we went after their nuclear sites with the bunker busters and all that. That was the next day on social media. Oh, if you're this, you're cooked. If you're this age, you're cooked. If you're this, you're going to be drafted. You're going to be fighting Trump's wars. Come on.
And that was a one and out.
Yeah,
that was a one mission, 1 day and out, and we're going to have the draft. Now, the way that read,
6 planes over and back again. The end.
The way you read that, it sounded like they wanted the military to just draft Barron. Nobody else, just draft Barron. Yeah, that's how it works.
And that's how it works.
I've got something to show you how. I've got something to show you how it works. Give me just a second. Gotta share my screen here. It'll take me just a second to get this.
opens up. See, he's got military next to the fire.
That's cool.
That's how you do things right there. This just hit me while we were watching that. When they show these young men and women, do you realize that a very high percentage of those do not have college education? They go into the military and they learn their skills in the military. So while they're making, they don't get rich, but while they're making money and defending our country, some of their friends are going to anywhere from 4 to 8 years worth of college that come out and can't get a job. I think it says something about the way things are done. I looked at that, and all of those, I've got grandkids their age. You've got kids that are close to around their age, and they're operating a aircraft carrier.
Yeah, fighter jets, and they're
got
entrusted with national secrets, and it's phenomenal.
And they've got people's lives in their hands. If they screw up, somebody can die.
Oh yeah.
And I know we've got veterans' parents in here, and I don't know who all is on with us tonight, but I know I'm proud of the time that I served. Not proud of myself exactly, but just proud to be a part of something as, if you're involved in it, you kind of gripe and, this sucks and it's all hurry up and wait and all, but when you step back,
you're going to miss it
later,
when you're gone.
Yes, you will. And, I'm proud of those guys and gals that are doing that today so that, and boy, I'm going to make the left mad here, so that in 6 months or a year or even 5 years that Iran's not shooting a nuclear ballistic missile at the United States of America.
Yeah.
And you say, well, nobody else has ever done. America's the only one to use a nuke. Well, would you want a regime like the Ayatollah's regime having a nuke?
Yeah.
I mean,
Are you truly
I don't
comfortable with Russia having nukes?
Well, we had to.
Or India? China?
And both of those. Ooh.
I mean, I was telling you guys earlier, I just got done watching that Chernobyl documentary, and wow, the force and the radiation and just from the accident at Chernobyl, I couldn't imagine. They were saying that just the reactor 4, when it blew up, had as much as 40 times the explosion that was dropped on Hiroshima. And I mean, it was devastating. They would put robots down on top of the roof to push the rubble back into the pit, and the robots would fry immediately. Can you imagine what that's going to do to human skin? So,
oh my!
Nuclear weapons scare the crap out of me.
It took Bill a day. It took Bill a day or two to get to it, but he sent me a message yesterday, I think, or maybe the day before, telling me that he had watched Reagan and thanked me for recommending it. And he's right. If you've not seen it, you ought to see it. It is definitely a good one. Of course, when we talk about commanders in chief and different things like that, I'm proud that I served under him as my commander in chief.
Absolutely. The Gipper. He was a good one.
He, not perfect, like Trump, not perfect. One of the One of the Gipper's greatest failures had to do with immigration, illegal immigration. There was
Really?
there was amnesty granted, I think, to 3 million illegals during his administration. That didn't work out so well. But he's like the exact opposite of Trump when he speaks. Trump's just going to lay it all out there, whether you like listening to it or don't like listening to it. Reagan had this ability to insult the left and make it seem like it was a good thing to insult the left.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
if you ever get a chance, and maybe we ought to save one on here to play a video that has clips of Reagan dogging the Democrats, the liberals, whoever. He did it with such mastery.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he did it like really subtly too. Like like the one speech he said he was doing, and a balloon busted, and like he didn't even skip a beat. He just stops and goes, "You missed me," and then went right back into his speech. I love that. That was probably my favorite part of him about him. So
What's next for you?
that's awesome. Well, I've got this joker who decided he wants to poke the bear.
A message to the President of the United States. The outcome of war cannot be determined by tweets. The result of a war is determined in the field, the very place where you and your forces do not dare to approach, and you can only talk about it in your tweets. It's better to name this war as Epic Fear instead of Epic Fury.
He said,
There we go. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong video. But yeah, come on, this guy. Is he really saying that to the United States? Call it Epic Fear instead of Epic Fury? I saw that, and I had to pick my jaw up off the floor. I couldn't believe it.
Saturday night, we'll be covering the death of the spokesman for Iran.
Yes. Yeah.
With Pete Hegseth saying,
yeah, he FA'd and he FO'd, and we dropped one of these cluster bombs on him. I got a video of it.
"This is a cluster bomb as it detonated midair over Tel Aviv while we were filming. Looking like a meteor shower, each light is a small bomb falling indiscriminately on the city. At least one hit an apartment building, killing an elderly Israeli couple, according to first responders. Others hit a train station, causing only damage. The latest barrage came after Iran promised revenge. Israel yesterday announced it killed Ali Larijani, a powerful hardliner who helped oversee a crackdown on anti-government protesters in January, when Iran's Basij forces, its internal enforcers, killed thousands. The Basij commander was also assassinated.
Well, I mean, right there, another one bites the dust.
yeah, that pretty much goes with FAFO. Another one bites the dust.
Yeah, so just keep it up there, boys. Just keep it up.
If we wouldn't get pulled for copyright violations, we need to have another one bites the dust when we play stuff like that and talk about it, have it in the background. I think I hit on this Monday about how if you listen to liberal outlets, they talk about how unpopular this war is and all of that stuff. I'm watching a video. I'm not going to put it up, but it's a CNN video.
Oh, Lord.
And the CNN run a video that showed that 89% of MAGA approves on that war, and the disapproval is 9%. That's pretty much, you can't get 90% of people to agree about much of anything.
No.
And even if it's MAGA.
Yeah. I mean, even between MAGA, if you gave everybody one free $1 million, you're not going to get 90% of the people to agree to that either. That's, to me, that just it's unbelievable. So.
Well,
I like
one of the big
when the war first happened, the polls came out and it was 90% of people are against the war. Well, I mean, you got to kind of give it. It was like within hours. So what didn't it happen over like a Friday night into a Saturday? Wasn't that it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So Saturday morning when everybody woke up and found out that we, went to help Israel over there, and dropped bombs and all that, they were polling people that day, and that became immediately the poll saying that it was a terrible idea. Well, nobody really knew why or how or what the point was or anything like that. Same thing as when we went to Venezuela. People still complained about it.
Well, it's interesting that you finish that with the country Venezuela. One of the big stories in the United States and in the world is the World Baseball Classic has been going on, and
nice.
It's like the Olympics. It's every 4 years. 4 years ago, Japan beat the United States. So that was a big deal. 4 years before that, the United States won. So actually, the two favored teams, well, there was three favored teams, all fairly close. It was the Dominican Republic and Japan and the United States. Of those three, only the United States made it to the final round against Venezuela. And actually, last night, Venezuela beat the United States 3-2, and they won the World Baseball Championship. And
wow.
I've got a short, well, it's a little bit longer. It's almost a 2-minute video to show. He plays in the major leagues. Most of the people that play in the World Baseball Classic are major leaguers, but they go and represent their home country in this tourney. And it's a big deal. National pride, teams that Venezuela, if you looked at the Olympics, isn't going to have much of a shot at much of anything. And here they win the World Baseball Classic. But this is a very, very different take on that. Let me put this back on.
Gino, your team was down to its last 7 outs facing elimination. The only run was your home run earlier in the game. You come back and win. You're going to the finals. What did it take to win this game?
I mean, I just want to say first, God being good, Like I always say, I have to glorify his name. Jesus being awesome with us. Like I say, we never give up. We know how hard was this game as a starting, but we never give up. We put a good at bat. We put everything together in the home play, and we got a Michael. He been doing a really good job lately, but I mean, we're doing better, and that's all matter right now. That's why we celebrate. We score more runs than them.
Gino, you felt the vibe and the energy in this ballpark tonight, but now I want you to imagine what it's like back in your home country, Venezuela, going to the finals of the WBC for the first time.
It's been special. This team, it's been awesome. We had everything, but more important, we got faith. We believe in God. We pray every day. We give it glory to the one and only, Jesus, and that means a lot for us. In the beginning on this competition, a lot of people don't believe in our team, but now we're here. Now we go for the first time to the finals, and we gotta enjoy God being good, and we have to do it for our country.
And you get Team USA in the final. Tell me about that matchup and what it will take to win the game.
It will take a lot, It's not easy. They've been show up. They've been playing really good baseball. They are superstars. We all know that. But we came to win, and we see what happened tomorrow.
We will see you tomorrow. Thanks so much, Gino.
Thank you very much.
That's awesome. And of course, Donald Trump's going to Trump. President Donald Trump has responded to Venezuela beating the United States in the World Baseball Classic tournament by calling for it to become a U.S. state. After Venezuela defeated U.S. in Miami on Tuesday night to win its first WBC title, Trump posted on True Social, statehood, President DJT.
Well,
it comes just after one day after Trump also floated the idea of Venezuela becoming America's 51st state after it won the semifinal against Italy. Statehood number 51, anyone, he wrote on True Social on Monday. So that was not his first time around with that.
yeah, I seen a liberal that would actually say he's more to the center. Boy, I'd hate to see a liberal if he's more to the center. But he said, what is it about Trump and wanting to take things over? He wants Greenland and
he's making America great again. That's expansion, manifest destiny. Come on now. I mean, did nobody go to high school like social studies or anything like that? I mean, world history?
And they're going crazy over Cuba. That was what tipped him off on. Well, I don't know if it was Cuba or I think it was his message about Venezuela, but he followed that up with Cuba and Canada and Greenland, and we're in Iran. We're taking over Iran, and
I just don't. I don't get it. Just let it be. He's making America great again. I mean, expanding. Wouldn't drill baby drill make more sense if we ran Venezuela and drilled our own oil, and wouldn't gas prices go down? But no, let's complain about that some more. Come on. I love it. I think it's amazing.
Back in the my podcast days, I interviewed a guy multiple times that was part of ANWR, and that's an organization in Alaska that when they said drill baby drill, one of the first things that it was going to affect was ANWR. There's like billions of gallons of oil in this section, but the only way to get it down to America is through the pipeline. And you know about that story. They had the pipeline started and then they stopped it and all of that. But this guy, he was awesome. Anything that a liberal could say about ANWR, this was the wrong guy to say it to, because he could I'd like to look that up, and unfortunately I don't have access to all 2,000 plus episodes of my podcast. But yeah, I had some opportunity to interview people such as that. And, I can't even remember his name right now. I could go find it but experts in their field. And this guy was an expert. I think he worked in their public relations department of, putting the word out, because at that point in time, we weren't known as drill baby drill or any of that. And he's out here telling people we're sitting on all of this oil in our country that we're just ignoring because liberals don't want a pipeline.
Yeah, because it would somehow hurt the environment.
Well,
but the
number of
windmills that kill birds and use more oil and gas to put up than what energy they would produce, those are perfectly fine. Go ahead. But the pipeline,
the jobs that it was creating, and we're not talking about minimum wage jobs. We're talking about high paying jobs that most of us in this area have never seen anything like on the average per hour amount. And there's an answer to one of the things you said about social studies.
They don't teach. Yeah, they don't. Apparently, they don't. I mean,
well, they teach made up
common
stuff.
Sense. Yeah, made up.
We're screwed up on that one. Common sense. you know, you would think that the older a person gets, the more common sense they would have. But if you look at Chuck Schumer, yeah. Actually, the thing that I was hoping that I had saved and that I hadn't was an old Chuck Schumer. Well, no, an old video of Chuck Schumer, meaning he was a young Chuck Schumer.
I've seen that. He looks really goofy.
Yes, he
Or
does.
a video of young Chuck Schumer. Maybe not that, but he looks.
Well, he's talking back then about people should have to prove who they are to vote.
Yes. But now
I mean,
the Save America Act is racist because it's going to stop married women and immigrants and black people from voting. Apparently,
I seen one Democrat. I seen one Democrat that said the only reason the only reason he's voting for it is because against it is because they tell him to. They being the leaders of the party, but the reason that he would vote against it, if he was all on his own, is because he can't find his Social Security card.
I could help him out with his number. It's about next to Nancy Pelosi, so it's either 3 or 4. I mean, if he needs to look it up, it's pretty close to Nancy Pelosi. Back when they invented Social Security.
So, you know, that goes to show that the people that are in office have basically zero clue how the real world lives. You and I both know that we could call the Social Security office. We could go online to the Social Security office. We could go in person to the Social Security office that's not hundreds of miles away. It's about 4 miles from our house. And it may be a pain in the butt. I mean, I've not had the greatest experience on getting in and out. You know, it's kind of like the BMV. You're going to spend some time there. And they may make you jump through some hoops. You're going to have this and that. But you got an ID somehow. You're living right now with an ID. So this man saying that he couldn't get an ID because he doesn't know where his Social Security card is. Get this. If he was a younger guy, I'm almost going to guarantee you his mama could have told him where his Social Security card was.
Right.
My mom kept my Social Security card forever because she was afraid that I would lose.
Yeah, I think I got mine the day I got my first job, and I kept it ever since. And I didn't lose it until I actually moved here, and then I lost it, so I had to go get a new one. But even then, it didn't.
But you got a new one.
I mean,
you got a new one.
I got a new one in no time. I mean, I went in, showed them what documents were required, signed a paper, paid them some money, left, and got it in the mail. Bam.
Your mom got your little joke about 4 or 5.
The Social Security number joke. It's a good thing I didn't say anything about her.
Well,
I did just get a text message. For those of you wondering and listening and know what's going on, the truck is a good done deal. It is mine now. It is done. So sorry, I just had to interrupt with that since I saw mom.
Yes. What they prove, that guy, and I don't remember which, I could guess, but I'm not going to because we're red, white, and true. What he proved there, with what you just said, you take what he said and what you just said, and what is the common denominator is that you couldn't have got your Social Security card if you were an illegal.
No, that's exactly it. There's no way you can go into the Social Security office as an illegal immigrant, somebody who ran across the border, and get a Social Security card. That's not possible. Some reason it is in other states that they can get driver's licenses, but that's what the SAVE Act is they're making it better, or they're making it harder for people just to show up across the border, get one of these driver's licenses or even an ID, and vote. They have to have more documentation than that.
And
it's common sense voter laws.
Fetterman made a good point. Fetterman is not supporting the Save America Act right now. He still has that background in. But he said that the Republicans need to make the voter ID portion its own separate bill. And he said, right now, you're never going to get enough votes with the no men and women's sports, the no trans, not doing transgender surgeries on minors. And there might be one more part of it that is the Democrats aren't never gonna bow down on. So
unfortunately, this is where our government messes up, is they cram so much stuff into a package, and then they try and get that to go through. And if people don't like one part or multiple parts of it, they won't vote for it, even though they do agree with the rest. And this is what they should have done. The Save America Act should have been Save America, the voter ID, making it harder for illegals to come across the border and vote. And then they could have done a separate transgender deal. That's what bugs me. I hate it when they do that. And when sneaky senators want to sneak something in that they know is not going to get through, they attach it to a massive bill like that too. And it's just,
yeah, that, they got all these rules and everything, but again, they don't have common sense rules.
No,
there's no way that at the very last second, a Congress critter should be able to throw in something, and basically nobody gets a chance. They've already voted on the bill, and they throw them in when they have to. Between the House and Senate, their versions are usually a little bit different. So they approve it, but then they have to negotiate some things out, some things in.
And you wonder why we're paying $8 million for Iraqi Sesame Street and $12 billion for transgender parades in Belarus. That's how you get that kind of stuff. That's how that stuff happens.
Absolutely. And it's almost, I'm not saying redo the Constitution, but when it comes to the rules that have been made up by Congress themselves, they need to take a step back and be real.
Yeah.
And be real.
And it doesn't mean they can't make an amendment or something like that to change how they do stuff like that. It just, you wonder why spending got so out of control, and all Doge was finding all this fraudulent spending, there's all these stupid laws on the books. That's how that kind of stuff happens, because senators sneak it into a whole bill, a whole big thing, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And that I kind of agree with Fetterman. Maybe they should have done a Save America Act just about the voting rights, and then later on did something about the transgender stuff, because I agree wholeheartedly, but you're not going to get anybody on the left to go with that, no men and women sports, that kind of stuff. You're not going to get anybody to go with that.
So, well, we've been rather talkative tonight.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think I have any of my videos that I wanted to play that I haven't. I had one that was talking about how intelligent that Marco Rubio is. We talked about that on Monday, and was going to play that with somebody else agreeing with our take on that. But the last thing I do want to share is we've been hitting heavy on the sleeper cell, lone wolf subject. All of that goes in with Sharia law, and we've got communities in the country that want their little piece of real estate to not have to follow the Constitution. They want Sharia law to be the law in their area. They actually have a longer term plan that Sharia law would be the law of the land. And I didn't realize this. We have a Sharia-free America caucus. You know how they have different caucuses, the Republicans and the Democrats, and
oh yeah.
But they've got, I couldn't even guess how many different caucuses there are. And I didn't know this one existed, but it's got 51 members across 22 states. They're all named. The co-chairs are Keith Self, Republican from Texas, and Chip Roy, another Republican from Texas. None of our Indiana Congress critters are on this list. So we'll keep watching. But I think it's awesome that there are people in Congress who, and you and I are both going to come down on Congress when they need come down on. And that's every day, multiple times a day. But there would be a lot of people that would be afraid, publicity-wise, to have their name on this Sharia-free America caucus list.
Sure.
And so I got to give kudos to these folks that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very happy that this organization was created. I, however, find it extremely sad that even has to be a thing in the United States. That this even has to be a topic of conversation, that Sharia law may come to the United States. It's sickening, but we still got Donald Trump for another 3 more years. So another 3 more.
Your mom, let's see. Let me get over there. I put that on the screen. This is a true story. This is a true story. Read what it says, Ronnie.
You have to have an ID for so many other stupid things, but not to vote. Buying whipped topping in the dollar store. You have to have ID to buy whipped topping in the dollar store?
We were at the dollar store probably 10 years ago. And back when the dollar store was really the dollar store, things cost $1, not $1.25. Your mom calls them liar tree instead of Dollar Tree. But anyway, we got some whipped cream out of their, refrigerated goods. And we got up to the cashier and they asked your mom for her ID. And she said, "What for?" And she said, "Well, we got to ID people that buy whipped topping, whipped cream, whatever, because it's like an aerosol can or whatever." And yeah.
Stupid people who lose brain cells use it as a cheap way to get high.
Yeah. But you don't need that ID to vote, even though.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you vote in person. What do they ask for every time you go to vote?
Your ID. Your ID.
And guess what? If you didn't have it, they'd probably make you go back to your car and get it, or go to your house and get it, or whatever.
Last time I voted, they made me go back to my car and turn my shirt inside out because I had a Donald Trump shirt on. And I had to take my hat back to my car and turn my shirt inside out, or I could not vote, which I get, but I still have to show ID. Well, it's part of the no politics. You can't have signs or anybody standing in line with you to sway your decision there at the last minute, I guess, because stupid people are too stupid to make up their minds until they're standing in the polling booth, I guess. It's not like I wasn't going to vote for Donald Trump before I went in there and didn't vote for him, Nobody standing in line next to me changed my mind, but I guess some people do.
We made the decision to use as our schedule Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. We used to say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday or Saturday, but it seems like Saturday has been the dominant day that we end up doing. So we will be back Saturday, Lord willing, unless something comes up we need to cover. And it's good to have a set day. And, when it gets to the weekend, lots of things happen and lots of things go on. And if we have to move to Friday, we'll do that. If it has to just be one of us or the other, which, you're on call next week. And so
next week, but Saturday is supposed to be 77 degrees. I may be going camping. I may be taking that truck to the woods.
Well,
the whole reason I got it, so.
That would make your daughter very happy. She came down today and said something about, we were talking about the snow and the cold, and she said, "Daddy wants to go camping, but we just can't."
Yeah.
So that would be really cool.
Yeah.
So Tell everybody good night.
Well, we appreciate everybody being here. We will see you next time. So in case something else happens, Pastor Ed told me to choose the closing song real quick earlier, and I chose if you were here with us, what is today? Wednesday? On Monday, we did the liberal song. I thought that was pretty good. So that is our closing song for tonight. So thank you very much for being here.
Actually, you changed and used Amazing Grace.
I did, but we played the liberal song during the show. The Amazing Grace was the last closing. Yeah, this was we played it during the show. So.
And if you remember that song, we've got it saved to use again. It was a beautiful rendition of Amazing Grace. So until we see you again Saturday night at 8 or sooner, if something comes up, go out and do the right thing.
The world is awful and I am mad. Do you know why? Orange man bad. You've got Trump derangement syndrome when your brain don't work quite right. Trump derangement syndrome, morning, noon and night. I heard he was convicted of 34 felonies. Of one you cannot name. The news said he did something bad. Oh, they're the ones to blame. He said there were fine people on both sides.
Oh, come on, man. That too is a lie.
You've got Trump derangement syndrome when your brain don't work quite right. Trump derangement syndrome, morning, noon and night.
What about all of the people he allegedly fondled? He said all women are pigs.
Just Rosie O'Donnell. You've got Trump derangement syndrome, more and more each day. Trump derangement syndrome.
I heard he wants to round up the gays.
Not today. I'm sure he will soon. He ruins everything.